Hello friends, welcome to this video. As promised, I finally have another tribe gen for you. And finally, with this video, I have a little bit higher quality footage of my coloring process than usual. Hopefully that will be more entertaining. In any case, we left off discussing the IgnumWings last time, which is a tribe that normally spends 100% of their life flying and in the sky, or maybe like 99.99, or anyway, they spend the majority of their life flying. But in this new story, for some reason, they have to land. Low key, I probably should draw it out a little bit longer, but I can't wait to tell you. So I'm just going to tell you. Basically, this tribe is the reason they have to land. I mean, not exactly. Let me explain. So this tribe is known as the IgnumWings. Although please let me know if you have a better name idea in the comments, because as I have mentioned before, naming is my least favorite part of all of this. So definitely open to ideas. But anyway, the IgnumWings live in a volcano. And at this point, you might be putting two and two together with the tribe coming out of the sky and another tribe that lives in a volcano. Okay. I'll just come out with it. The disaster that makes the Stormwings have to land is a volcanic eruption. Now, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with volcanic eruptions. To be honest, I'm not particularly familiar with volcanic eruptions, but I do know that they spew like mountains of ash into the sky, such that if you're a tribe that only flies, it would be pretty hard to fly, I would say. And I know these clouds of ash can be massive depending on the volcano, but for plot purposes, let's say that this is a massive eruption, meaning that the ash cloud and ashfall will spread for miles and miles and miles, potentially even hundreds of miles, and it will stick around in the air for, well, Google says that it could be years depending on the size of the eruption, so kind of not helpful. In any case, it's sticking around for more than just a few hours. And not only is the ash reducing visibility, but volcanoes can also release toxic gases that would potentially make it pretty hard to fly. In any case, now I don't think I'll have time in this video to talk about why the eruption happens, but I do have time to explain this tribe that lives in the volcano, and they're related to the eruption, obviously. Although, you'll get some good hints if you saw my notes that I was writing on my little sketch page. Legit, like having a direction for the story and thinking about future characters helped me design this, or helped me figure out this design and what I wanted it to be like a lot better than just going in with volcano. So I did want to make this design a little bit more unique than just black and orange, although it kind of ended up being black and orange anyway. But I tried to take some like pattern ideas from like lizards and paleo art. So I do quite like how the markings turned out. I didn't have so much time to do like the best job with rendering this one, but I think it's good enough that y'all can get the gist. Okay, back to the IgnumWings and like who the heck are they and what the heck are they doing in the volcano? So when I think of the IgnumWings, I kind of think of dwarves like a lot because they live in tunnels in the volcano and they survive not only with adaptations in their body to the heat, but also by carefully constructing their tunnels to maximize like airflow, heat venting, and also like light distribution if they want to grow plants. But I will say they get a lot of their like goods and food by trading with other tribes for the minerals and precious gemstones and like precious metals that they can mine in their volcano and under their volcano. I don't know enough about geology, but I'm just gonna say there's something worth mining in there. In any case, it's that like tunneling and mining lifestyle that made me think that instead of having like spines or frills like a lot of the other tribes do, they kind of have these plates running down their like neck and along their back that they can kind of like raise and lower, but so they can like really smooth them down and become almost completely like flat so that they can squeeze through like rocks and move through dirt easier. But then they can open almost like a flower so that they can have like enhanced venting of excess heat and or, display, to be pretty. Their design also includes some vents, almost like gills, but they're not really like gills. Maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like the biology of gills right now, and it's been a long time. I suppose they could work sort of similarly. So they have vents along basically almost the entire length of their body that gets their blood in very close proximity with the air, which will cool them down if the air is cooler than their blood. So it's a very similar concept to like very large ears on African elephants or rabbits that live in the desert. Oh, like fennec fox ears. Those are huge because they're great for like heat exchange so that the fox doesn't overheat as easily. So maybe these vents are something like that. I know gills, like I don't know a ton about this, but just from what I remember, gills are basically a way of getting the fish's blood really close to the water so that the oxygen in the water can get into the fish's blood. So we can say that's kind of what's happening here. Naturally, also from living in a volcano, that kind of means that these dragons have to be pretty well adapted to like a low oxygen environment. They have to be very heat resistant and probably really durable and basically immune to fire. I tried to convey that durability with like giving them a little bit of a stockier body with like slightly thicker limbs, and if I drew in the scales, you would see that their scales are even thicker. Basically, they have a lot of protection. But I see a lot of the time, like, dragon designs that are for burrowing and, like, with a lot of, like, natural armor sometimes just end up being brown and not super pretty. So I did want to give these guys, like, basically a dash of color. I think it's kind of cool and potentially a little bit more unique to have a burrowing dragon that is full of color. The design definitely did not start out this way, but like as I was painting it, I was like, actually, what would be really cool is if they were super colorful. And blues and oranges are kind of a color scheme that I like a lot. So when I saw one of the like paleo art pieces on my Pinterest, I'm like, okay, well, now I have to do that. Anyway, in contrast to the Stormwings, this tribe, they kind of all live in one place. They all live under one really big volcano in this like mountain range. And so because they're in relatively close proximity to each other, they're basically one big clan, a large extended family, and there's not a lot of dispersal. So family ties and family lines are very important to them. Not necessarily in terms of being like royal blood, but very much in terms of like, okay, this family has been digging aeration tunnels for hundreds of years, and they're excellent at designing and creating aeration tunnels, and that's what they're known for. And so if you are in that family, you're expected to follow in those footsteps, and when you grow up, that will be your job. And also, family reputation matters more than like blood purity, if that makes sense. So that actually kind of makes the future videos gonna be interesting because of that. But yes, so you can see how like growing up in this society, if you like don't want to do the same thing as your parents, you're kind of is like tough luck for you basically. Although these things would kind of make you think that this society is like almost rigid and backwards. They are very much like embracing of technology, new technology, especially engineering for their tunnels. So, like the invention of blasting jelly for creating new tunnels, they would totally be welcome to that, or they would totally welcome that. Yes, grammar. But basically, they are like dragons of science. So they're not so much like, yes, do these random experiments and, progress is progress. They very much appreciate like testing on a small scale first, propose your idea to your peers, peer review. So you could almost say that like while they are very forward thinking, they are also quite cautious, as they should be. Their way of life is almost inherently dangerous. Also, as dragons of science, they are not super into like spirituality or magic. So any animuses that they had in the past, they didn't necessarily shun, but they're not like revered like other animuses, and they don't currently have any. Those are basically like all of my ideas for this tribe as of right now. But if you have more ideas, please let me know. I love hearing your guys' ideas and incorporating them into videos. I've done that so much. Like, also, your ideas give me ideas. I have to say, though, I'm pretty excited with where this plot is gonna go. I mean, if you think about it, this is a well-known tribe. Everyone knows they live in this volcano or underneath it, and they know that they are, like, tunneling. And so, like, I think you can expect what other tribes are going to think when they see the volcano erupt. And I don't think the other tribes are going to be very happy about that. So I think the next tribe gen is going to introduce one more tribe to this rather chaotic situation, which will add yet another layer of conflict, which is exciting. If you guys have any ideas for what that third tribe should be like, let me know. If you have more ideas for the IgnumWings themselves, also let me know. I think any additional details will help me just like round them out a little bit more. I feel like they need a little bit more like history and culture. So yeah, just let me know. In any case, I'm pretty excited about this plot line. Obviously, like I said, it's not like all totally solid yet, so any of your input totally welcome. But yeah, now you all know like the inciting event and the tribe connected to that event. I think there's going to be some excellent drama on the horizon with this. In any case, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think of the IgnumWings and / or the art associated with them. I'll do better next time, I swear. I just didn't have enough time. Okay, now I'm rambling. I hope you are having a great day, evening, night, morning, whatever, and I'll see you around.